Hi friends. Well, life handed me a lemon. I not only made lemonade, I wrote down the recipe and sold the recipe to all of you. That's what my life story is really. I started, in a very modest way by taking cooking classes at home. You have to really look for opportunities. Opportunities don't really knock at your door the way people say. You have to find opportunities in adversity. So I looked around in those days, after I got married, my children, there are many girls here, so I think it's going to happen. You get involved with marriage, children, and then a certain phase of life comes when you feel that you must do something in life. So you have to look around. And that's what I did, and I saw a lot of people taking cookery classes. I was always fond of cooking, very passionate with food. So I thought, why not do cooking classes? So I started with cooking classes at home. Now I do have professional academies all over the city and in various towns of the country. But that time I started at home. When I started, I felt I should do something different. And that's how my cooking classes were more popular than the others. What I'm trying to say is you should be innovative. Success is when you do the same thing, what the others are doing, but do it a little differently. Because if you do the same thing, then you're nowhere. So I kept thinking how to make them more innovative, and I started with one-day classes. People used to have long-term classes. They used to feel the instructors or the housewives who were conducting the classes used to feel it'll be nice if we give them, if we charge a certain amount for n number of days, they'll feel very happy. So much we are learning. I took it differently. I took it, I made my classes a fun class. It was learning, one day only learning. But in that learning, I put a lot of fun, entertainment, in the sense I would share my own stories with them. Then I would help them cook with me. So my classes they used to look forward to my classes. So that's how my classes started. And I had people coming from all walks of life, from doctors to lawyers, of course young girls, brides to be, and even the press. And I was fortunate enough, to have a good coverage in the newspapers because the journalists were coming to me. So after my classes started doing well, and then my students said, why don't you write a cookbook? I said, fine, chalo, I'll jot down all the recipes that I'm teaching you. Yeah, also in the classes, I also innovated ice creams. Those days, Nirula Parlor ice creams were available, and it had just about a few flavors. Again, in those ice cream classes, I created flavors with fruits. Then I made a yogurt ice cream which was low calorie. So innovation, what I'm trying to tell you is innovation is very important. So after my classes, I started writing my book, and the book was written, and I thought it wasn't so difficult to get a publisher and get it published. So I went to a publisher, and of course I was really disheartened because the publisher said, no, cookbooks are dime a dozen and nobody buys cookbooks. Everyone imports cookbooks, and all the imported cookbooks are sold because they have those beautiful glossy pictures. And I was a little disheartened at that time. Okay, I've done so much mehnat, I've written down all the recipes and the books, now nobody is ready to publish it. But then I took it up as a challenge. Okay, I must do it myself, without knowing the ABC of publishing, and without any help, whether it was financial help, whether it was the help as support from my people. So I said, let me publish it. So I read about publishing. So I came to know, first of all, you have to find a printer. Now today printers come to me saying, they beg for work, give us your books, we'll print them. In those days, they give us money first and then we'll print your books. So where is the money going to come from? So some fixed deposits I had to break and get my book done. And it was a lot of hard work because the printers weren't really too happy doing an unknown author for you. because paise milenge, nahi milenge, you know, there were a lot of hassles in that. But I took it up as a challenge. So, you know, when you start something, you will face these problems. But then I could have said, forget it, let the book keep lying. No, but I said, no, publish, I will publish it. And that's how our publishing house was born. So with that one book which I did myself, today the whole family is into the publishing house. That one book made this publishing house, and we named it as Snap Publishers. Snap was Subhash, my husband, Nita, myself, my son Anurag, and Bhavna is my daughter. So it was Snap. That's how we made the publishing house. So after this book publishing, which I did, then after the book publishing, then I published the book. Now how to make it reach you all, you know, the readers, that was another challenge. I couldn't get a distributor at all. So I went from market to market with that book in my hand, doing nothing. Anywhere I would go, again they would say, nahi, cookbooks don't sell, cookbooks don't sell. So finally I did manage to get a distributor who was ready to give, you know, take the bulk stock. So I gave the book to him, and it was just, it sold okay. I wouldn't say it was a great hit or anything, it just sold okay. Then I thought to myself, my recipes are nice, I've written it well, I've photographed it well, why wasn't it a hit? Again the thought innovation came in. I said, I haven't done anything different. Everyone is writing, there were so many Indian authors doing it, and they all did it the same way. So where is the innovation? Why would somebody pick up my book when there are already so many in the market? So in those days I used to go to CP and I used to see those, you know, those small sized quotation books, and I had quite a collection of them. And I said, why not a cookbook in this size? The size is so handy in the kitchen or anywhere. My first book was a big book, the regular size, 7 by 9. So I said, this book is so nice. And so I thought I'll take up this size. That was fixed. Then I said, then the book which I had already written, the first one, which was Vegetarian Wonders, and it wasn't a hit, that was just from a complete cookbook starting from snacks to dessert. I said, let me choose a topic which nobody has done. And in those days, paneer was really, every vegetarian family would eat paneer once a day. There was no baby corn, no broccoli, no zucchini, none of these nice different vegetables. Only matar, gajar, gobi. So paneer had to be there in every meal, or if anybody was coming over, paneer ka kuch na kuch to banna hi hai. So I thought, let me write a book on paneer. So because nobody had worked on paneer that time. So I wrote the book on paneer, but it was again a lot of hard work. Now you can't do things, I could have written down the recipes andaze se. I didn't do that. I used to go to restaurants by myself, all alone, in the afternoons, eat the food there, a paneer dish there, come home, write down the recipe, take the recipe in the kitchen, cook that recipe for the family in the evening, and then jot it down on the computer for my book. So that's how I made my paneer all the way, the first book. And that was a great hit. It really flew off the shelves. I still remember the day when my distributor called me and he said, your paneer all the way has been received very well in the market, and I need another 5,000 copies. That was the beginning of my career. And then I went on to write many other books, like 15, 20 books I wrote. And after that, my distributor said, now that's it. You've written 50, 20 books. I think the market is saturated. And I said, what do I do then? He said, how? He meant, keep eating the reprint money that comes to you. I said, no, I can't do that. I couldn't say that to him, but I felt I can't do that. I said, how can I just stop writing? I have so many ideas in my head. You have to be, you get into that mood of creating recipes, and you keep creating. So I had so much in my mind, and I wanted to share it with everyone. And here my distributor says, you stop writing. So I said, what do? I stop writing and just keep enjoying the reprint money. I said, no, that's not me. That way I was fortunate enough that year we went to Germany for the Frankfurt Book Fair. And there I saw that, there were cookbook publishers who had several thousand books, not thousands, several hundred books on cooking alone, and there was no sign of slowing down. I could see they had so many more books in the pipeline. What I'm trying to tell you here, you have to have a growth mindset. If business is all about growing, if you're stagnant, you're finished. You can't, you feel you've done enough, to khatam. You have to keep growing, diversifying in your work, whatever work you do, the smallest work you might be doing. So then back home, I came back with a lot of enthusiasm, and I wrote many books, and as you were told just now, I've written more than 600 books, and 8 million copies have been sold. And so what I'm trying to say is, keep working hard and always study your competition, give it look at it in a healthy way, and always keep track of the competition, because many people are doing the same things, and you need to understand how you can innovate, how you can take it forward to make it look different. The same thing. So after the books, then today we even have books worth 25. Those small books which I wrote were priced at 99, but I soon realized that when I saw the market, I soon realized that there were many for whom 99 rupees was also a lot of money. They couldn't, like my maid who comes to clean my house, my cooks, 99 was a lot of money for them. So now today we've come out with a 25 rupee book, 25 in Hindi, which carries quite a few recipes. And the USP of my recipes is, the recipes even have salt. I don't write salt to taste. I don't know if you've seen my books. It always says half teaspoon salt, 3/4 teaspoon, and today, like, I have a lot of team working with me. So I have my academies where my girls, my instructors, we work together to create recipes. And they say, ma'am, why do you have to measure the salt and add? You can just add the seasoning that way. I said, no. So what I'm trying to say is sincerity and honesty and your full dedication is important in whatever you do. So that is the USP of my books, that the recipes, people swear by my recipes. I'm not praising myself, but people swear by my recipes, and they tell, if you follow her recipes to the T, you won't go wrong. So there honesty comes in. I could have just written andaze se, copied from the net, done here and there because my name has been established. No. But till the end, you have to put in hours. People say, you work smart. When my son joined me in business, he said, Mom, why do you have to work for so many hours? I would sit down, keep trying. Sometimes at 12 o'clock, my daughter-in-law would say, Mom, you're in the kitchen at 12 o'clock at night. So I would work that way. And they would say, why do you have to put in so many hours? But today he realizes, only smart working doesn't help. You have to give time to your work. So that's how I work. I give time. Smart working is one thing, but time is there. But again, time management is also very important for a woman. I see a lot of girls here. You would be married, and then your priorities have to be very, set right. You have a family, you have work. So set your priorities right. Manage your time well so that you can give enough time for the family also with your work. Because end of the day, if you are only working and your family, you don't look after the family also doesn't support you. Today the family is all there. I have my son, my husband, everyone in the publishing house now, because I've always done for them, so I've always got it back. So if you do get it back also. So after these books and all, now we are into opening up restaurants. Again, as I said, in my restaurants also, we have the classics, dal makhani and butter chicken, but then there are some signature dishes of mine. The restaurants are by the name Kelong in Ludhiana and in Chandigarh. We are opening soon in Jaipur also, and we plan to do it in other parts of the country also. And in the restaurant also, I put some fusion dishes which are my signature dishes. Jaise ki abhi I went to Jaipur to do a demo, so I did. Men, I don't know how many men would be interested in that, but then I did a very nice brown rice arancini, which arancini is a fusion. Arancini is a Italian snack जो मैंने Indianize किया और उसका fusion बनाया. So ऐसे fusion dishes I'm doing for the restaurants, and then we are planning to we are franchising our academies. We have them here in Delhi and Chandigarh and Jaipur, because I feel these academies, the women can become self-reliant. So it's kind of women empowerment for the academies. They can look after the family as well as do these cooking classes in a very professional way. When they do it themselves, they don't do it so well. So when we help them set their academies, they go more professional. And so we now, this year, we are into franchising our cooking academies to make the women more self-reliant, independent, and also into food products, because diversity is also important. Cookbooks, yes, they do very well, because I have my dedicated fans who swear by my recipes. But आजकल IT का ज़माना है, सब गूगल करके रेसिपीज़ ढूंढ लेते हैं. कुछ काम करती हैं, कुछ नहीं काम करती हैं. मैं भी करती हूँ उसमें से, but some work, some don't work. And when they don't work, it's such a disappointment. So I always remember that when I'm doing my work, so that the recipes should be, should be worded in such a way that there's no margin for error when you're reading the recipe, when you're doing the recipe. So now after that, cookbooks and all, and the academies and the restaurants, we are into food products. We've taken out our masalas. Now for the masalas, I went to Chandni Chowk, so all the masalas there. So like the hard work doesn't stop there. So masalas are now in the market, and we plan to do more food products for the people. That's all. Thank you so much.